Hello guys, welcome back to the channel. If you're new around here, make sure to subscribe and hit the bell icon to be notified when a video goes live on my channel. So we're back on GT Sport with Daily Race B at the Red Bull Ring in Austria. Now I'd like to show my qualifying time for the daily races so you can kind of get an idea of where I'm at. We're currently at AS and our DR and SR rating at the moment, so we've had quite a lot of incline in our skill level at the moment. So coming into the third corner, plunge down the gears into first, hook up the apex as much as we can, try not to spin the car as you get back on the power, but early as we can, and down the back straight here, so I'm just going to go into the fourth corner. The Lamborghini Huracan is quite an unstable car. Some people say not to use it when in the pack. It's good down the straights. I think the top 10 is just all Lamborghini Huracans for this week. And in the lobbies I was racing in today and like the past few days, everybody's just using a Lamborghini. So it's unstable on the curbs a little bit, but this game kind of like plays towards driving on the curbs. You can kind of cut corners and run a little bit wide to gain time. I don't really tend to like run wide because a lot of people do, but I feel like under braking the car just gets unstable and quite difficult to handle. So we're just going to round off a lap here, come into the penultimate corner. Again, you've got brake on that Marshall post just on the left hand side, come into the last corner. Try not to cut this too much because that little yellow curb on the inside just unstables the car and you can send it straight into that wall on the left hand side. But we cross the line, it's a 129.7. Now my fastest is 129.715. But yeah, the lap, I think that was 127.2 or something like that. So then coming into the race, we start at 8th. We're just inside the top 10 for each race that I was posting between 5th and 8th, relatively, like depending on who I'm racing with. We've got some decent drivers in here actually. I think the pole time in this race was probably around about a couple, maybe 5/10 off the top 10 leaderboard in the world. Anyway, so we're going to come onto the first lap, and we're just going to slightly outbrake ourselves coming into the first corner. I obviously try not to hit the guy in front because I've done that in the past and a few people have done that to me. So chucking it into gear 1, I get a really poor exit. So this guy behind me, and another Lamborghini, believe it or not, looks up the inside of me. I'm just trying to cover my line. Obviously there's a lot of people all behind me like desperate to get past, and obviously I'm trying to keep up the pack ahead of me because if you lose the slipstream and people got the slipstream behind you, then you've got absolutely no hope. This guy just comes on the inside of me, gives me a little tap on the outside. I nearly spin round, but luckily I keep it in a straight line. The Aston Martin behind actually does put it in the wall. So we got 8th, we'll lose 8th place and down into 9th. We've got Kangarina 2000 here coming down on the back straight, looking up his inside. He kind of does leave me the room. I think he felt bad for that move, so he lets me through. Give him a little kiss on the outside, just let him know I'm there. But anyway, we need to focus on pushing forward rather than looking in our mirror, because if you start looking in your mirror, then that's when you're going to just lose time, go backwards and make a mistake. And obviously, you don't want to make a mistake. Consistency is absolutely key in any, well, motorsport or in GT Sport or any game really, even in real life. So nice hooking up, coming into the end of the lap, hooking up these corners like I say. Just trying to keep on the back of 7th and 6th, see if we can keep in their toe. We've got a little air gap between us. I think that's like 0.6, I believe, behind me, and 1.3 just in front. It's coming on to the last corner. Again, like I say, don't hit that yellow curve, hook it up nicely onto the second lap. The guy in 5th place runs a little bit wide. I'm surprised he didn't get a penalty there actually, because strict corner cutting is very strict around Red Bull and it is all about penalties. But it seems that 5th place is cursed because the guy who then took over his 5th place decides to run wide there as well. So yeah, all the Lamborghinis, all the green Huracans, all running down the top straight here. I mean, people say, is this turn 2 or is this turn, or yeah, is this turn 2 coming into turn 2 now? I don't know, it's confusing. But a little Constantina effect here. The Tameo comes into the corner, just pushes a little bit wide, tactic, just struggling to get on the power. As soon as you get on the curves on that yellow sausage curve on the outside, you just lose traction. So the guy in 7th place gets a penalty, a 0.5 second penalty there for running slightly wide. We gain a position into 7th place. So let's see if we can carry this momentum on, going into the second lap. We know the guy ahead of us has got a 0.5 penalty, so we can keep an eye on him a little bit. He just looks it up the inside. I think they do touch just a tiny little bit, and he just runs a tiny little bit wide. Getting oversteer on the exit, looking up the inside again. You can see it's all, everyone's battling. If you start fighting people like around you, then you're going to lose time. He just gets it all out of shape coming up for the middle sector. So moving on to lap 3 now. We're in sixth position actually, I can't count. The guy in 5th, Tamo and Duke of Dutch, these guys are actually pretty quick drivers. I think the guy in 4th place, he actually started further up the field, but got caught up in the first lap. Looking on behind this BMW now, it's quite difficult actually to stay behind people really closely and keep your race in line, and also not outbrake yourself and just run into the back of the drive, because it does happen quite a lot in this game, and I'm guilty of doing it myself, but we do manage to keep it tidy through here. Coming into the middle sector now, see if we can try and have a look down the inside of Duke of Dutch. Now obviously you can run a little bit narrow into the corner, but you'll lose time coming at the exit. You can see here that I'm just can't get on the power enough. I think I'm getting a bit of understeer. Coming into the braking zone now in 3rd gear, hook the apex up nicely, and just trying to keep in the toe really. So let's see if we can carry on this momentum moving forward. Right, so we're coming on to the end of lap 3 into the penultimate corner again. Brake on that marshal's post every single time. Like I said, consistency is absolutely key here. I believe, I just overstepped the mark a little bit, losing time coming up to the home straight, and but you can see we're just losing time all the way down the straight. But moving on, we are right on the back of him now. The Lamborghini is an absolute monster on the straight line, especially up against this BMW. So have a look down the side. He defends the corner. Now I did think about getting the cutback, but I just turned it a little bit too early, and he does cover the line quite well actually. So it's good driving between both of us really, keeping it clean, but also keeping it fair as well. So which is obviously important, because you don't want to put yourself or anybody else in a hedge, because if you both of you just crash out, then well, there's no point even doing it, is there really? So anyway, we're coming into the middle sector again. We're just going to see if we can hook up these couple of next corners, see if we can get a nice run on him. We've got just over a lap and a half to go, so we can see if we can get the move done. But it's just difficult to carry the speed, and when you're in the slipstream of a car in front, then you do gain a little bit of understeer, and it's quite difficult to keep the car pointing in a straight line sometimes. So we're just going to move on to the last lap. As we're coming to the back end of this race, I just want to take a quick opportunity to ask you for any feedback, good or bad, even with my video quality, because I want to try and give you the best quality content I can, as in such a small channel that I am. Even in the driving, I want to be quicker, I want to move up the ranks. So if you think my driving's horrendous, then tell me, negative and positive feedback. But we're just going to round out the end of this race here, see if we can have a look down the inside of Duke of Dutch. I probably should have just stuck behind him really and try and get him coming down the home straight, crossing the line. But I'm being a bit aggressive, maybe taking the corners a bit too narrow coming into the corner, which obviously does compromise your exit. Anyway, so we're coming to the penultimate corner. I'm just a bit too far back, really, to nab 5th place off of Duke. But yeah, so it's been a good race overall. Luckily at the start of the race I didn't get spun around. So if you guys see me in the lobbies, then make sure to say hi. Leave a like on the video, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace out, my guys.